All right, let's get the nose off this sucker, shall we? All right, one of the cool things that I've always found on these old cars, especially, you know, American cars, is, well, my stove cut off. Reason that stove's out here. And this is the reason I generally have a $100 fee for touching my metric drawer. Every time I touch that metric drawer, I charge an extra $100. I'm kidding. On this, that whole front end there is pretty much one size, ½ inch. That's it. It takes the whole thing apart. And there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9 bolts, and the whole thing comes off. There's a little trick to it, I'll show you. First step is to get the bumper off. That's the big one. Well, I guess there's more bolts if you gotta count them, but the whole front end, there's not much holding them on, and they all, on these old cars, they mount around the body, and then they go up, and there's one big bolt that holds the core support up in the front, the radiator. That's what holds the whole thing. So a couple of bolts, like I said, one size, because that's why I love this old stuff. If you've ever done I've made mention to this to another video. If you ever had to work on a PT Cruiser, to change the timing belt, you got to have a full toolbox because every one of them's a different size. On these old ones, they kept it simple, and that rocks. All right, let's get this nose off here. And I'm going to try some more of that fancy editing stuff to see if I can speed this up so you'll watch me work in ultra fast time. But one of the things that I've always held by that'll save you a mountain of time on doing this stuff, I know I'm under the gun, I know I can just zip it out and get it done. Oh, and another one I wanted to show you, and big reason I'm doing it here in this shop, not up at the main shop. All my tools, you're gonna see nothing but cheap. This is a Pittsburgh Pro. I like the cheap stuff. My sockets here, they're all Craftsman. You don't have to break the bank on tools. I like to take it apart with hand tools. It'll save you because you can feel it. You see that in my other videos. I strongly recommend that. And it'll save you from, well, it's an hour and a half out of my day if I run to town to grab a bolt. So, you know, do your best to save everything you possibly can, because I don't want to go to town. I don't want to deal with people. So let's get this off. Like I said, use the hand tools, get a feel for them. You'll know when they're going to break. So you can back it, tighten it, pull on it, loosen, tighten, you know, it helps. All right, quit jibber jabbering and get this dang thing done. You see how I'm using my extender ratchet here? It kind of doubles. Oh, there's a tight spot. And I know that in these, right now you can see I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it for that tight spot again. And I got it. If I would have just kept ripping, pulling on that sucker, I would have busted either the bolt off, which would have taken me a couple hours to fix, or I would have stripped out that nutsert in there and set it to a spinning. That is a nightmare, because then I got to pull the whole dash, get in there, and weld another nut into that place. And that is a pain in the rear. So, again, can't recommend it enough. Use hand tools. Got another one right here. This one you see me working on right now is in the A-pillar wraparound, where the windshield kind of goes like this up and around. This is an ultra tight spot to get into if that strips. So again, you'll see me do a lot of this take apart by hand. Throwing my hand against that windshield too, because that's like a $300-400 windshield. Oh, there's something different. I didn't realize this with the other side, with the other one. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you my trick for this too. The one I just pulled out of that's in the A-pillar that I was telling you about is a real mother bear. Well, Ford kind of helped you out on it. Unlike a Chevy, they got more of a screw looking bolt. So I'll make a note of that so I'll know right exactly where to put that one back in. Okay, the other ones you can see they're just a standard, and in these years almost everything's fine thread. I don't know why, but it is. So the other ones are just pretty much your standard run-of-the-mill body bolts. So I'll make a note of that so when I put it back together I don't forget. And this is where your YouTube channel can really help you, because if I forget, I just got it on camera, so I won't. I hope. All right, so let's get back to work. Looks like the last one is down here on the bottom, and this one is a fun one. Oh, I love that A-pillar. Now, good golly. It's always good to rattle that old brain noggin around a little bit. Sometimes it just, you know, everything just ain't set right until you set it right. And let's face it, whose head is ever in the right spot when they decide to work on an old car? I hear she's giving. Did you hear that noise? I like that noise. Here we go. Come on out of there. Come on, sweet child. All right. There she goes. Now, that one's exactly the same as the other. Corral those up. On these Fords, I did learn something. There it is. I'm always dropping and losing my phone. And I'll try this. I'm going to take you over and show you a hidden one. And this one gets most everybody. There's a hidden bolt in here. And quick shout out to my good friend Daryl Mitchell up on the roadway. I learned a lot about these old wraparound windshield cars from him, because when he graduated body school, he was working at a dealership when these things were still going, and he taught me a lot about these old wraparound body styles. Okay, quit babbling, get your damn ass to work. Okay, yeah, I got you pointed in a dark hole there, right? Okay, right there. You see that little sucker right there? Sorry, I'm doing my absolute best here to... There, you can see it. Get that flip back around here. I got the door open. It's right down inside of there, and it's hiding against that back side. That's connected to the fender. I see a lot of people rip these off and tear that hole out, and it'll cave in your fender. On Fords especially, I come across that a couple of times. So if you're doing a Ford, hey, shut this flashlight off so I don't kill my phone. Kill yet another phone. So if you come across the Ford, it's hidden inside of this A-pillar, up and inside of there to that back side. Generally, they're not too badly rusted. Usually they come out because the water that gets trapped in these, it's always when the windshield gasket starts to go and they get old and they crack. Well, they let all the water run right down this pillar, and it puddles up right down here. Ford thought about that. They put a big rubber plug in there, but they put that plug where you can't get to it to pull it out to get the water out. So it's not uncommon to find that rusted out right there. But that bolt is way above there. Generally, they're pretty easy coming out. Okay, so if you're working on one of these old Fords, remember that bolt right there. You have to get that out to get that fender off, otherwise you're going to mess up that fender. All right, so I'm going to get back to work and get this dang nose off of here. Look at there. Squirrel, nut. That's a Rochester 2G. I'm going to put that in that squirrel hole. It's cool what you find in these old cars. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to need the wrench for that. What kind of wrench is this? This is a Champion. So I know it's a Chinese quality, drop forged. Let's see if it's going to work in here. Oh boy, and this is fun. Like I said, they usually come off pretty easy. But getting something on them, that's another story altogether. Let's try a long extension. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use a wobbler on this. Buy a wobbler. They're kind of shaped like that on the end. So if you push your extension all the way in, it's solid. If you pull it out just a little bit, let's see, it'll wobble around, give you almost like a swivel, so you don't have to be straight on. But if you need it straight on, push it all the way and then it's straight. Okay, and These are Pittsburgh Pro. I think I gave like $9 for a whole set of them. Shut the hell up and get this goddamn thing done. Like I said, I got the normal tools for this, but I know you guys, some of you guys out there that are watching, you don't. Oh, woohoo! I love it when it does that. You get that nice clean break from an old, rusted, come on off there easy, girl. Don't you spin on me. And like I said, when you're doing this, you'll get a feel for it. And you'll know exactly what's going on. If it's in there and just spinning, or if you're actually making headway and getting that nut off of there. And now the other strange I don't want to do is drop that, because they don't give you a lot of room in here. Barely enough room to get a finger on it. Right now I'm sticking my finger on that nut as I'm backing it out here with this. So I can keep it smushed in. And then I keep my finger on the end of it and bring it out just like that. Oh, she's a little warm too. That's the culprit guy. Remember to watch out for that one. Now what it is it's a stud welded onto the fender that goes in there like that. So I'll also have to remember, when I go to pull this nose up, I got to pull it out just a little as it comes up, so that bolt will slip up out of the hole and come right up. So I'll put that in with my others right there. All right, and then we pick up these tools. Get them out of my hand. Get a hold of the camera so I can take you guys along here. Maybe set you guys right here. Let's see how that looks. Try it. Oh, wrong way. Oh, that is as far back as it goes. Raise you up there a little. All right. Now if you're in a body shop, this is where your spoons come in. I can stick a spoon in here and kind of give it a little wiggle jiggle, make sure I got everything. These cars are kind of rare here, so I haven't done many at all. Chevys are a little more common, but I know from doing them, you just kind of, I found it right there. What I'm doing is, like I said, it's been, oh Lord, I would say I'm not even going to try to remember when. It was back in the 90s, and it was actually on a 57. This is my first 58 I've done. But what I'm doing there, doing the wiggle jiggle, I'm feeling for tight spots. And when I pull on it like that, I can feel it right there. And something inside of here is holding it. Just lightly do it. Don't rip on it or you'll bend stuff, break stuff. And that's the whole name of the game. You don't want to break nothing. Especially if it's something like a 36 Packard or something, you know, something they don't make parts for anymore. Let's see, and that's gotta be another 1/2 inch. I done forgot about these inside ones here. Nice and easy. Come on, girl. Come on. Oh, this one right here feels nice. There she goes. Did you hear that pop? Now when I go to put it back together, I'll throw a little PB blaster on all these and run the bolt in and out a couple of times in all of them, and then I'll put them back in with my electric ratchet. The teardown is where I do it all by hand. And there she is. That's interesting. This one had a big rubber grommet, probably a sound isolator. There she goes. Ouch! Something is still tight there. I'm hoping it's fender welt. Something right in here is tight, so it feels like I missed something. So I'm going to go in and look around again. Maybe there's another one of them. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've worked on one of these. And the one I did work on was a 57, not a 58. Okay, where are you hiding then? Let's see. Nothing there. You are free bird, free as the wind beneath my wings. How'd that song go? Oh, she's free. That's exactly what it was. It was just fender welt. Now, I gotta leave that door open so I don't have to fight that again. You seen how I did that when that that door, if I would have just pulled on it and got it open, well, that's the reason the other door's off. That's what happened. That door, I hate touch screens. My fingers have done this kind of work too much. They don't work on these touch screens. Turn the flashlight off so I don't lose my battery. There. Anyway, what was I talking about? You see now I was working that door. Pull the door and look for stuff. If you see something, stop. If I would have kept going, I would have tore that stainless right to pieces. It would have creased it and then game over. On the other side, that door swung open when the guy I got it from, when he was pulling it out of the field that this car was in. The wind caught it and swung it open, and it tore that door as it did. That's why I got that door off. I've been kind of working on it, trying to get it back into shape. So when you're doing that and you're feeling that and you see anything out of the ordinary, stop, reset your mind. You know, we're all in a hurry to get this done, but if you jam in and try to get it quick, it's going to cost you more time. So sometimes you got to go slow to go fast. In the meantime, I'm going to keep on rolling on this, and we're going to get this dead dang nose off of here. Especially if I just shut the hell up and get busy. This camera work while you're working. Yeah, it's more than a race to 500 subscribers. It's a race to try to figure out all this camera stuff too. All right. We got her there, we got her there, we got her here, we got her there. Now this side here, on all that stuff I was showing you there, I can cheat on this side because, like I said, the door's off already. So I'll bring you all over here. How's that? And just repeat the process over on this side. Here, you might be able to see it a little better. This is the top one. There's one all the way down on the bottom right there. And then that nasty ugly one right there that's hiding inside of there. Get that set back. All right, here we go. Easy does it, girl. Easy does it. Come on, sweetie. And it helps if you talk to them too. All righty, there we go. Okay, we might have a problem here. This one might be totally gone. Yeah, she's just sitting there and spinning. I can feel it trying to grab though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a flat blade screwdriver in there and pry against the bolt, because it's got that head on that bolt. I can stick a screwdriver in there, pry on it, and try to give it some more. Now you're going to see me break out the electric because I need the constant spin on it. So that sucks, because that means I'm going to have to get in there and weld a nut in there. There is no way I could drop a bolt or a nut down in there and hold it with something while I tighten it down here. So that sucks. Flat blade screwdriver, that looks like a good one. Stanley's always got, oh, I gotta get my electric. And again, like I said, I'm not sponsored, I'm not affiliated, nothing with Harbor Freight, but more Harbor Freight stuff. I'm just cheap. Frugal, let's call it frugal. Okay. Sometimes this works. I don't want to go on the fender side of it. No, I think she's spinning on the inside. I can't feel it, but it does feel like it's wanting to spin on the inside. I don't want to do that. When you pry on the sheet metal part of it, it'll have a tendency to bend the fender, and I didn't want to do that, but something is giving there. Come on, sweetheart. You want to come out of there. I know you do. Give a little tension. And like I said, I know it looks like I'm taking a lot of unnecessary time or anything like that on one bolt, but if I can get it, there she goes. It saves me time when I go to reinstall it. You can see what it was doing there. That's actually the nutsert. Whoops. That's the nutsert that's supposed to still be in there, but it's not. So now I know, and it's full of water. Again, that's caused from that big old open crack gap in the windshield right there. Lets all the water run right down in there and set right on that nutsert. Pain in the butt. I'll try to get another one in there. If I can't, what I'll do, and you heard me saying it, nutsert, I might be able to drill that and stick a nutsert in there to get that fender to realign. Anyway, let's get this off. That sucks. Oh, I got shim count here. Okay. go back to this one. I just can't feel anything with that. I don't want to break nothing. Go back to here. Ah, there I go. I can feel it. And I got you guys down here on the sky bottom view. So let's get you some better view here. See if you can see that now. There, working on the top one here. Same thing, it's more of a screw than a bolt. But, and again, here's where your YouTube channel is going to come in real handy when you're restoring or doing this kind of work. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the camera, I'm going to show you how many shims were there. Why? So I can go back and remember how many dang shims were in there. Let's see, looks like 1, 2 body shims right there. Looks like washers, but that's exactly what they are. Right there, there we go. Watch my finger, not the camera, that's hard. Yep, 2 of them right there. So we got those. Now for the mother bear, right there. I found out if you're whistling or tune on YouTube too, you got to be careful. Careful of what you whistle. And this $10 tripod that I picked up actually working out pretty good. Okay. Come here. Come here. Where are you at? Right there. You can see my hand is choked up all the way to the end of it, so I really minimize the amount of torque I'm putting on it. So I really don't want to strip that out. I know now I've only got one I've got to work on. And while I'm just kind of sitting here doing this, I'm babbling a little bit. You're gonna watch me, the back of my head probably, but oh, don't you do it. Don't you do it, stay on there. All right, right there. Now I'll show you this when I go to install it, but just in case I forget, you can tell that's gonna be hard to get that on there. Back in there through that tight little hole and get it to line up. There's a secret to that. Take a little RTV silicone and put just a drip onto that and stuff it down into your socket. That'll hold it on there. That'll hold it into the socket, and again push, well, I probably won't use a wobbler for that, but you can push that down and then I can use that. It'll stick it into my socket and I can reach it in there, start it, and go. It's kind of like having an extension on your fingers. And all it is just a little dab of RTV silicone, any kind of silicone you got around, but we generally use RTV, so that's what I got. So anyway, where am I at? I got that one right. Woo, mud dauber. That's another thing you got to be careful with, bringing these old cars in after they've sat outside and they're nice and cold. Sometimes a wasp nest will come back alive. More than one time I've had my hands filled with mad hornets. Looks like somebody's wanting to get a hold of me, so I'm gonna put you on pause and probably get this out off camera, but here we go. Okay, I gotta put her on pause here a bit. I gotta go help a friend out. He's having a little trouble, so with his car. So it sounds like a frozen battery. That's another one I want to add in on this. You know, we're all under the gun. We're trying to get our projects done, especially now we got a time ticker. But don't let it kill your network. And I'm going to talk about hot rod networks sometime in some video, but make sure you don't kill your network. Stay friendly. Do what you can to help another friend out, another hot rodder out. It opens the doors. Remember when I was talking about buy, sell, trade? That's the key. You got to make a network to be able to do that. And you never ever want to kill your network. So I got a buddy who's broke down on the side of the road, so I'm going to get over there and get him off the road, come back and get this nose off. All right? So stay tuned, and well, honestly, all I'm going to do is just push the off button on here, and then when I come back, I'll push the on button. Don't you love the magic of TV? All right, so we'll catch you here in a bit.